Hey all, Binks here. Certain archetypes have been tried over and over again in Marvel Snap, and sometimes certain ones just aren't good enough to have a place in the meta. A big one has been the self-buffing archetype, or using cards like Nakia, Okoye, and Forge to buff cards, and usually you're going to try and find cards that kind of multiply those buffs. It's been tried over and over again, especially when Black Panther came around. A lot of people tried it. You know, Nakia's gotten buffed, Okoye's gotten changed, but it just never really found a place. But I think that finally, this deck has all the tools to be competitive in the meta, and I present to you Buff Stuff. So Buff Stuff is a deck where we are trying to multiply these buffs. So we have Okoye and Nakia that can add additional power to all of our cards. We have Forge in there as well that have played before a card that can get buffed. We get some buff. And then we just have a lot of cards that can multiply those buffs. So we have Brode that can multiply it 3 times. We have Mr. Sinister that can multiply it once. Mysterio can also multiply it 3 times if it's Nakia or Okoye. Doesn't actually get hit by Forge. The Forge will only buff the left Mysterio, so it's an important thing to think about. So essentially what we're trying to do this deck is just fill the board and spread the board. We have Absorbing Man, which is an absolute superstar. Brode into Absorbing Man is insane. Mr. Sinister into Absorbing Man is insane. Just all these really cool ways to extend out and make our deck as big as possible. Iron Lad is great because Iron Lad can get a Brode and then you get 3 6 costs. You can hit a Mr. Sinister, you get 2 6 costs. You can just continue buffing your deck with things like Iron Lad. And then the Patriot's in here, which is kind of interesting, but because we have all these token cards, Mysterio grants us 2 tokens, Sinister 1, Brode 2, and then either Iron Lad or Absorbing Man can also give us additional tokens if we hit the Mr. Sinister or the Brode. The Patriot's just kind of good enough. It's also a really cool surprise card. You know, you might play the Blue Marvel on turn 5, you have a full lane, your opponent says, okay, they've already played their Blue Marvel, they're not going to be able to get over there, but then you slam the Patriot, you maybe add 4 extra power, you get some really big wins there. The final cards in the deck that you could probably cut are Okoye and Mirage. Okoye is really well themed with the deck, but in practice, she's just a little bit inconsistent, and you know, things like Iron Lad and Absorbing Man don't really work with her because the later you play Okoye, the worse it is. And Mirage is just in here as a really good way to get another cheap card in her hand for things like Nakia, and just a really powerful play on turn 6. But Mirage and Okoye can definitely be adjusted if you want to try and utilize some tech cards or things like that. But overall, this deck is a ton of fun. I absolutely think it's competitive. You can play this on ladder. You can play this on Conquest. I think that there is more that needs to be done to it. Like I said, maybe Mirage and Okoye need to be adjusted, but I think this archetype is finally good enough so that it's you know, something that you can compete with, and I really hope you enjoy it because kind of unearthing these archetypes is one of my favorite things in Marvel Snap. As always, if you're enjoying these videos, make sure to hit the like button. Check down below, make sure you subscribe. Catch you live at twitch.tv/binks_plays. Enjoy. I'm adding 7. It's hard for them to add 7 on 4. I have Blue Marvel to follow up. I'm in a pretty good spot. In our Iron Lad, we have Patriots, Absman. I think we just take our Blue Marvel here. Just play it as a 4/7. It's kind of fine. Maybe just take a big Panther. Like a very large Panther. Deck does not need Surfer. Make Super Panther.
Wakanda forever.
Let's see here. Patriot adds 4, right? We're already plus 4, right? Blue Marvel also only adds 4, right? 2 here, 2 here. The Patriot's actually stronger than the Blue Marvel, crazily, except for the 4 power it's associated. I'm thinking this is the play. Kind of like this, right? Beats out just like, what do you call it? If they surfer, we still only tie right, but I think we should be ahead. Be fine. power storm, imagine. I'm saying, dude. That's 3 middle, 4 right. We're getting an additional 4 right from the big Mysterio. 2 left. We're gonna get to 8 left. I don't think the storm gets hit by the Patriot. Yeah, new haircut, man. It's a haircut day. Black Bolt in the dock and meta. Yeah, I didn't think it would either.
Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man here.
Ah, they were trying to. I don't know what they were trying to pull there. They were trying to get casseroled, I think. I think they were just looking to get casseroled. That is a good start right there. Patriot? What about Patriot? Huge thank you to Eternal Evolution for sponsoring today's video. It's a brand new mobile game and I've been really enjoying playing it on my phone. Eternal Evolution has some really awesome strategy elements. It's really free to play friendly. You can kind of just pick it up and play just about anywhere. It doesn't have any energy limits, which I really like. You can download it right now anywhere, Android, iOS, a PC simulator. I'm currently participating in the Grand Ceremony event. Not only can you get a ton of resources this way, but you can even get a free Triple S hero. Right now, there's some super cool summer events. You can get the Minotaur Warlord Tarish, and you can also get the Dark Orchid Helentis. She's available specifically if you play the new PvP mode Hell Arena. You can also get these awesome new skins for both Emma and Ravenna that are available again for the first time. Eternal Evolution just also added SP rank heroes, and you can get the very first one, Caraxia. I think my favorite hero is this guy, Leo, just an absolute beast. He's immortal while charging in, and I just love him, his aesthetic, and he's great on a team. The great thing about Eternal Evolution is that there's so many different ways to play. Here's some examples of the AFK mode where you can gather a bunch of rewards. Here's the PvE mode where I spend most of my time. It's really cool to be able to control all of your different units and have them all attack at once. I've dipped a little bit into PvP and it is crazy hectic. If you're up for big strategy, this is definitely your thing. You can download Eternal Evolution right now by either scanning this QR code right here or clicking the link in the description. Thank you again so much to Eternal Evolution. I really appreciate it. Let's get back to the video. Here's that was made for Shang-Chi. Very true. Who would run Shang-Chi in their deck? That sounds hard. The card does, it only has 3 energy, 3 power for 4 energy. It's tough to make work. I got a deck list though. I'd be keen. Why did they go first? There should be a rule where if your opponent plays Maximus, they go first. But only if you play Nikia as well. Okay, in the deck we have Patriot, Okoye, Blarvel. Iron Lad's okay, but it's nothing outstanding. We can just abs, man. I could be convinced. I could be convinced. They get a fresh cut today. Fresh death. Stop adding cards to my hand. Why do they keep adding cards to my hand after I buff the cards? Why aren't we talking about this more, you know? That's the biggest thing. Why aren't we talking about this? Because we should be. It's fricked up. Now we're doing a limbo game? This is Surfer. I don't understand why they're adding cards to my hand. Like, it's a joke? Think they're doing it for funnies? Chat? I think it's like a silly... He's being like a little silly guy. Your thoughts? We can get Iron Lad as a Patriot, which is pretty good. We only have 1 out, but we're pretty likely to play Brood at some point. We can go like Lad Forge into Brood Mirage Okoye, maybe? Does beg the question, is Blue Marvel just stronger here? I don't know. Mysterio is quite good though. But the Mysterio we don't even add. Back in server. I assume a Skillmonger's coming. Be my guess. It's pretty assuredly wins right. They shouldn't have multiple Surfer triggers. They might be a Wong Surfer deck. But if they're Wong Surfer, I think that their play is going to be Shard Killmonger Surfer. It just makes too much sense. They're going to add 7 right. They'll get to 18. I don't even need to add that much right. You don't want to. We could just do Blue Marvel Mysterio, honestly. Just give right. I'd count a Nova. Oh, wait, it's 6. 6 plus 4, it's 10. 21. Makes it a little bit harder. Gets us to 18. We could just do Tiny Mysterio. Wins all day. Thank you. Guard. Skillmonger. Surfer. Forge of Zero been better? Nah, it doesn't work the way that you'd think. Forge Mysterio? Forge Mysterio only hits the left Mysterio. The Forge Mysterio only hits the left Mysterio. It doesn't hit all 3. So like Okoye and Nakia, you get all 3 of them. You get the bonuses from all 3. But if you forge a Mysterio, only the left one gets it. It's actually a very interesting interaction with Mysterio that you don't come across very often. Dude, I will say, man, there is very few things more sweaty than like the third day in Infinite, man. I feel like most of the people who are in like third day Infinite are kind of throwing hands, dude. You know what I mean? Where's Dakin? Why don't I put Dakin in this deck? Silly man. You're queuing for 6 minutes for Gold Conquest? That's tough. It is kind of funny though, because especially because I just said that like right after. So literally through. I just. Why did I play Okoye next turn? I'm just kind of. So it's Dakin? Yeah, but that person put a Y in it, so they tricked me. I say Dakin though, because I'm from Chicago. But the algorithm put. Just don't stop putting a Y in it. You're not allowed to put a Y in it. You're not allowed to put a Y in it when you say it in chat, because then in my mind I will say it with the Y. I mean, the Onslaught's really good. Brood, Absman, Hero Mirage, Patriots. Let's do this. Stay nice and tight on Moore Island. Nice and tight. Let's see upcoming new cards this season. Yeah, I'll post it on my VOD extra channel soon.
Everybody's a Binks fan.
I have an extra channel where I post all of my thoughts on stuff like that. And I discussed it at length recently. Okay, he has Swarm APOC. Has Swarm APOC, and then a bunch of random cards. But he'll probably play Swarm APOC. I can't imagine there is a better play than Swarm APOC. So this adds 8. We will get to 17. So it beats a single Swarm. If it goes like Swarm APOC. I think we're fine. Then gonna get Swarm, APOC. You play the APOC left? Okay. We're fine. Who's the third one? Nova? You said a random... Oh, it's Titan. Like, where'd that random Nova come from, bro? They have all the cards that add cards to hand. So we'll add their cards to our hand. Good card. What do we get? Dinosaur. That's a good one. That's a good card right there. Next time we can go Panther. Then we can go like Dinosaur. Then we can go Brood Absman with the Super Flow. Wowza! That is good. That's good juju right there. And Elysium? Oh my gosh. Must be my birthday, man. Let's do that. Very large Panther. Elysium just a little cherry on top. They got my Nakia. They got two of my Nakias. Okay, well, we should be able to win the left, though. This Panther's very large.
Wakanda forever.
Kind of forever, by the way. Get Absman for 12. We best maximize. They could probably add a few more cards to hand, but not too many more, so we don't have to overcompensate left at all. Or he already snapped up, This turn we can take it chill. We could just go like Larval Patriot. Dinosaur's not going to be that big by the time we get to it. There's no way they can add 9 more cards to their hand, right? Then we just go a little psycho mode. Get a little crazy. What are we adding? We're adding 24, right? How do you feel about new Spooderman? It's a cool card. Maybe I should run Dazzle on this deck. Look at this, chat. I'm full filling. Maybe they have Orca. Maybe they just got a shiny new Orca and they want to play it. Right? What do you think about that, chat? They could still potentially beat me. They could have more than 24. They have Elysium. They have a double Nakia at hand. They could have something good here. It's 28. Oh yeah, with the Patriot. Good point. Ooh, I think we're beating them on a tiebreaker. On 29, in your face. How dare you? How dare you think? Can you imagine, chat? Can you imagine point slamming 28 in a location isn't enough, man? They are pretty opposite, yeah. Spider-Man moves things around, Professor X stops things from moving. Anyways, they're kind of like completely different. was almost gonna make a joke that we play the real Mysterio left, because they'll never expect me to play the real Mysterio left. You know what I mean? I did say there is a rule where opponent can't play Spider-Man. We do have the Patriot for the Hulk, which is quite nice. Now their Power Stone will never work. Which is also quite nice. We probably have Sean though. They are cheaters. Lad can hit Sinister Brood. Abs. I mean, these are a lot of good things. Let's just rip it middle. Forge is like the only bad thing. Mirage is mid. Everything else is a premium. That is very unnecessary of my opponent to do that. I don't know how we're being 27. I think we're probably just not, right? At least now they can't Shang-Chi right. I don't really have a big card to play middle to finish this. I do have a lot of power there already. That was bold. That was a bold try. This gets me to middle. I think this is the best though. 6 total. Yeah, GG's. That was a bold try by our opponent. I think they just realized they were in trouble and they just said this is the only way I win. Hulkbuster? Not really. I mean, we benefit from having more cards, right? It's because we benefit from things with like Blue Marvel and Patriot. Hulkbuster doesn't necessarily help. It can be kind of helpful. I think it's an interesting addition. Just because we're already blowing so fast. Level acrylics are not acrylics, they're shitty nail polish. I'll probably get no chip on and get a manicure next week at some point. I'm so excited, chat. I've been so busy every freaking weekend. Every freaking weekend I've been obnoxiously busy. And this weekend even I'm going on a trip with some friends. We're all like getting hanging out in a cabin. It's a really cool trip that we do every single year, which is wonderful. I'm just getting tired, man. I think I'm gonna play middle. Could be Brood, Sinister. Patriots? Let's go Marvel here. See what we end up pulling. I like the idea of potentially having a place to play in Sokovia, and I don't like giving my opponent cards. I like the Lad landing left because they're probably... Okay. Sinister's decent. Against 2, we're at 16 left. Isn't super easy. We're completely outside of Killmonger range. I think it's Mr. Sinister Abs, man. It's pretty hard not to want to play that. Patriot just doesn't really do too much for me. The Abs man goes pretty nuts. I just don't know which way to do it. We'll go middle right here. Let's see if we messed up. I mean, obviously Mr. Sinister would have won right, which is kind of shitty to feel. They still have to beat a lot here. Yeah, everyone just thinks you can just Sean me, man. You can't just Sean me, bro. You gotta try hard on that. Do we got a casserole in the house? Casserole in this house, casserole in this house, casserole. Look at that. I just made that up on the spot. What'd you cut for Patriot? It was just kind of already in there. Might have been Zola I cut for Patriot. I think the Patriot's a very strong card in the deck. But we already have at least a Blue Marvel. We can use Brood to fight for Asgard. Oh, I shouldn't. Yeah, that's a good point. I don't retreat. I'm not allowed to retreat against Sticky Eye. That's a really good point. Really wish this absorbing man got hit by the Asgard, but you know we're here. We don't have full control over that. You can still take this, man. It kind of sucks to fill like this. Did stop it. Let's make them work for it, you know? Give them a lot of work to do. Pretend that you have Luke. That's a good point. I mean, the Darkhawk is kind of their big thing that can fight for middle. But we're going to have like a 16 power Panther, like a 12 power Panther. So I mean, we should be able to outscale the Luke. Or outscale their Darkhawk. I think I have to play the Patriot. Patriot gets you 6 in both off lanes. I want to play the Panther, but I think I have to play this. And I don't think they'll play around the Patriot. They might even play around a Onslaught, but not a Patriot. The Panther feels great, but I think they avoid middle, maybe. And just try and focus on winning the other lanes, but they don't know that we can add 6. The one right middle, right? Jesus Christ, dude. Very rude. Very, very rude. Make sure to subscribe. Watch that one too.